They were selling just under $2 million, and now they're at 1.5. That is insane, like $388,000. So somebody had asked me to do a market update for Caledon, and since it's Friday night and I have nothing to do, I have no life, I will happily oblige. So here's the market update for Caledon. Now keep in mind we're still in the middle of June, like June 24th is when I'm making this video. By the way, realtorvic.ca is where you can find me if you guys need to buy or sell, but that is not why you're here. So let's get to why you're here. Now, I'm going to be covering a whole bunch of things like how many listings are getting canceled, how many have had to drop their price, and also median prices as well. Number of sales, you can see here, February and March is when the market peaked for Caledon, and when the rates went up, the Bank of Canada announced a rate increase, like they've been going down ever since. And look at June, only 40 sales up until June 24th. So for this number to be like almost tied to January by the end of the month, that is kind of scary because winter is supposed to be the slowest time of the year historically. If you go back like 70, 80 years, winter is always the slowest and spring market is always the busiest. So for this to be like slower than January possibly, and for winter to be busier than spring, like April, May, like that is kind of scary. So out of those ones that sold so far, this is how many of them took longer than 2 weeks to sell. And right now in May, 25 listings took longer than 2 weeks to sell. And June, so far up until June 24, 24 of them took longer than 2 weeks to sell. Now you might say, well, you know what, Vic, you're kind of exaggerating a bit because it's the same thing as March, so it's not really much different. Well, if you look at the number of sales, that's a big difference. Like if you guys do the ratios, like that's a big difference, like 120 to 40 and 23 to 24. So also kind of shows you like listings are sitting on the market for a longer time. And now why is this important? It's also important like if you're buying and selling. If you're selling, you guys want to know, is the listing going to sell in 1 week or 1 month or 2 months or 3 months? And if you're buying, it's important to know because now you know like, okay, I don't maybe have to rush there the same night the listing comes up and just be like, here, take my money, here's $50,000 extra. So we're not done yet, but if you guys enjoy this information, like and subscribe. That cheer me up. Thanks. So we're just getting started. Now I want to show like the market share for Caledon. Detached homes make up the majority of the market. They're at about 76%. Semis and freeholds are out about like 11% each. Not really a big market for condo townhouses or condos. Now let's look at canceled listings. Like how many listings were canceled every single month? January, February, not much because the market was crazy. Everything was selling, so no need to cancel anything. But it's been going up ever since the rates kicked in. So 96 and 115 cancellations in May. This will probably not reach May's levels, probably around like 90 or so by the end of the month. So something to keep in mind. Now let's look at what's currently for sale right now on the MLS, on the Toronto Real Estate Board. Okay, right now there are 295 listings available, and out of those, 49 of them had to drop their price because they were not getting the price they wanted. But I would not be discouraged by this number. That's not really a huge number, like 300 listings and 50 dropped their price. That's not too bad. But out of the 295 listings, 200 of them have been on the market for longer than 2 weeks. Now let's look at prices. This is what everybody wants to see. And some of these prices were so shocking, I had to like triple check my numbers because I didn't want to give out wrong information. This is straight from the Toronto Real Estate Board. These are not my stats. Look at January. They were selling for over 2.1. This is detached average prices. And now they're under $2 million. And that's a drop of $239,000 in 5 months. Now let's look at detached median prices. They were selling just under $2 million. And now they're at 1.5. That is insane. Like $388,000 dropped in only 5 months. That is huge. So something to keep in mind if you're thinking of buying and selling, like it's important information for either side. Semi-detached average prices. January, they were hitting almost the $1.4 million mark, and now they're selling just over $1.1 million, and that's a drop of $255,000, and that's from January to May. Now, this also peaked, the peak for semis was also January. They've been going down ever since. And semis median prices. Median prices, they were selling 1.37, and now they're down to 1.15, and that's a drop of $224,000. So about the same as about $25,000 less than the average prices. So that's semis median prices. Now, last one here is freehold townhouses, and the average price for freehold townhouse in Caledon was 1.15 in January, and now they're just over $1 million. That's a drop of $138,000 in 5 months. Now, if you look at median prices, freehold townhouses median prices, January it was 1.19, and now they're selling under $1 million. They're down about $195,000. So that is what I want to share with you guys. If you guys are thinking of selling in Caledon, keep this stuff handy when you guys start talking to agents. Hopefully you're talking to me. I'm an agent. But if you're not, keep this stuff handy, because this is straight from the Toronto Real Estate Board. These are not my numbers. And if you're thinking of buying, this is also helpful, because now you know all the stats, which way the market's going. And if you guys want to cheer me up, like and subscribe. Thanks. See ya.